Hi, everybody. It's Nancy from East Bank Club, and we are going to do a super fun brick today. But it's not the brick you think. It's not running and biking or swimming and biking. It is the elliptical and the stepmill. So go ahead and get yourself on an elliptical and just start working that elliptical. So the one thing I want you to do here is slowly build to a steady state. And steady state is honestly 70 to 80% of your max heart rate, or it's a conversational pace. And the one thing about the elliptical that I will say is sometimes people get on the elliptical and they don't even get to that conversational pace, right? So let's do this. Let's see if we can get that heart rate into the green zone, the my zone green zone. And that's going to take a little bit of work on the elliptical. And I'm absolutely okay if you want to choose an elliptical where you're not using your arms or where you are using your arms. Find whatever works for you. A couple of things I want you to think about. We're going to work on strides per minute, and I want you to slowly build to 90 strides per minute. That mimics running a little bit. And if you can get that up to 100, that would be great. But we're going to be at least 90. We also want to make sure that when you're moving, you feel like your hips, your knees, and your feet stay in one line. So while you're on it, and especially if you are not using your arms, make sure that you still stay upright. If you are using your arms, you can kind of glance down for a second and make sure that there's no rotation in the movement. So as I stride, I want to make sure my knees mostly don't roll in. So throughout the entire cycle, my hips, my knees, and my feet stay in a line. And this is a sagittal plane movement. So we want to make sure that we stay there. We don't see our knees going out or in as we go. And that's the same with the feet. So if you find your ankles or your toes want to roll in, we want to keep them pointed forward as much as you want to. If you find that you pronate a lot and your toes turn out a little bit, that's okay. But just make sure that that knee tracks with that foot. So the knee doesn't get to roll in if you're pronating like a typical pronator would. Many people use the elliptical as a break from running, and I think it's great because this is a way to get a nice, no impact or very low impact workout. For upright, we're always fighting gravity, but the truth is you're not lifting off the ground. So this is a great workout for you. By now, you should be feeling like you are at that 70 to 80% max heart rate. When we get to the stepper, we are definitely going to do some hard intervals. So we're going to use the elliptical as a steady state, or if you find that the stepmill is extraordinarily hard, you may use it for recovery for the first 4 minutes and then steady state for the second 4 minutes. Our goal here, though, is to get a steady state workout and then some hard intervals, back to a steady state and some hard intervals. So a lot of this is going to be perceived exertion today. But if you could say a sentence, but not much more, you are in the right place. If you are not at 90 strides per minute, I really want you to try and work to get there. Bring the resistance down so you're at 90. The thing about the elliptical is it is a cardio respiratory workout, right? So we want to make sure that we do get it to be cardio. So if we have too much resistance, it turns into something that looks a little bit more like a strength workout. And our goal here is to work your heart today. That is going to be the muscle we work. And then we're definitely going to work that when we get to the stepmill. Okay, now that you have 8 minutes on your elliptical, I want you to move to the step mill. So we're going to spend our first minute here just getting used to the step mill. So hop on the step mill, and if you have a heart rate monitor, you can start to bring that heart rate back up to 70 to 80% max heart rate or conversational pace. So you want the same feeling you had on the elliptical. And let's try and get there in the next minute or so, right? So you're back there, you feel like you're working at the same level. We don't want to be breathless yet because we're going to do some 30-second on intervals, 30-second off intervals. So now, if you can find where steady state is, the level on your step mill, if your step mill doesn't have levels but it has floors per minute, you can use that as well because we're going to want to revert back to this level or a little bit lower on the recoveries. When we hit the recoveries, it doesn't matter if you go a little bit lower than your steady state. I want you to make sure that your level every 30 seconds when we get there with each effort increases a little bit or at least stays the same. So if you need more recovery, that's absolutely fine. So let's keep this level for another 30 seconds, and then we'll start getting to the hard work. We're going to do 6 of these efforts, which should be so fun. If you can pump your arms without your arms hanging on, that's great. But the pumping arm police do not come today, so don't worry about it. I don't want you to feel uncomfortable. I'd rather have you moving and confident than feeling like you have to let go. But it's time. We're going to start to bring your level up anywhere between 1 and 5 levels. For 30 seconds, I want you to start to feel like you are breathless. So if you were just kind of hanging on or you're newer to the step mill, you just go up 1 level and you hang on. If you've been on the step mill and you love it, you want to go up 5 levels, right? That is going to be really hard. You're only going for 10 more seconds. So keep pushing through that. Lift that leg up so you land on it. 3, 2, 1. Bring yourself back to the steady state. If you're really out of breath or feel like you're losing coordination, take it down a few levels. If you think you can make that same level again in the work phase, that's where I really want you to work. So the work phase is more important than our recovery phase. And guess what? We're going to work again in just 8 seconds. So between 1 and 5 levels, if it wasn't hard enough last time, you push it higher. Ready? Go. Get those levels up. It's 30 seconds to push. Again, if it's going to make it harder by you pushing those arms and pumping them, do it. If it makes you lose confidence, I sometimes get scared, so I have to hang on. Then just hang on. Make sure that your weight stays in your feet. You don't want to be hanging on for dear life on the step mill. You want to make sure that you're just using it so that you have a little bit of balance. 5 seconds, 3, 2, 1, back to your recovery. 2 down, 4 to go. Again, if you need to drop lower than the last time you had recovery, that's fine. We want to make sure the work phase is the hard phase because 30 seconds, I've got to be honest, is not enough time to recover. But that's what we're doing this today so that you're going to see that heart rate continue to go up and up and up. Your effort goes up and up. In 5 seconds, you're on it again. Ready? Levels up. In 2, 1, go. Oh, it's starting to get harder now. Keep getting those legs. Make sure you don't have that death grip on the guards there or the rails. You want to keep getting those legs up. And you're moving as hard as you can right now. Heart rate is going to start to get higher. Maybe you're 80 to 90%. Maybe you're in the red zone. That's great. You keep working for 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Bring the levels back down. Halfway through. That elliptical never looked so good, did it? Right now, you've got 20 seconds until the next interval. So I know you're not completely recovering here. A 1-to-1 interval is not enough for as hard as you're working, but that's okay. This is why we're doing this. You're going to get through this and you're going to have plenty of recovery time. In 4, 3, 2, 1, bring those levels up right now. This is number 4. You've only got 2 more after this, and get it. You can do this today. Keep pushing. You just got to lift that knee up, land it, and keep picking those knees up as fast as you can. 15 seconds. Get up those floors. That's it. This feels maybe like you're running up the floors, and that's okay. You've got 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, recovery. Try and catch your breath. Keep breathing on the recovery. And then for these last 2, I really want you to challenge yourself. See if you can go up 1 more level from where you were. See if you can just do that confidently. I think you can. So we're going to try right now in 5 seconds. It's 1 extra level. 3, 2, 1, go. Remember, you want to move those feet as fast as you can. It feels like you are running up the stairs, right? If you are just stepping up as fast as you can, that's great. You're running up, that's great. But you want to get up these stairs as fast as you can. There's something really important up there. You got to tell somebody something really important on the top floor, and you got to get there, right? They have something up there that you need, and you've got to get it. You got to go for 5 seconds. Get to the top of the floor. 2, 1, rest. Ooh, recovery. You've got 1 more effort. And we are going to go right after this effort back to the elliptical. So from here, I'll let you bring the level down for a few seconds just so that it's easier to get off. But I do want you to get as quickly as you can back to the elliptical. So we're going in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. Come on, right now. It's your time to push through. Now, I want you to think that everybody is looking at you on that elliptical and they are thinking, oh my gosh, that person is so awesome. You are crushing it right now. Nobody else next to you is working as hard as you are. So show them how it's done. You've got 10 seconds to stay awesome. Stay awesome right now for 5 seconds. It's just all you right now. 3, 2, 1, bring the level down. So you're going to bring the level down, catch your breath. If you're feeling a little uncoordinated, spend a little bit more time on the step mill so that you can catch your breath and hop off, because it is not easy to make that big step down. So when you're ready, stop your step mill and get back to your elliptical. Welcome back to the elliptical. This is probably a little bit more of a happy place than that step mill was. And unfortunately, you've got to go back to the step mill. So this is a good chance to make sure you get your recovery. Remember, I said that 1-to-1 interval for working as hard as you can is really not enough time to really recover. So that's why we're spending 8 minutes on your elliptical, right? This is your big recovery time. And it gives you a chance, right, to continue to burn calories and recover. "70 to 80% your max heart rate is under threshold, so you're in a nice fat burning zone. But additionally, you want to keep moving at that nice stride pace. So 90, 100 strides per minute, so that you're moving fast enough without a lot of resistance. I want you to make sure those legs are moving. And the reason for that is we want not a lot of resistance so you move faster, which is going to bring more blood flow to your legs without taxing your muscles. That's really what we want. We want a lot of oxygen back to those poor quads and glutes that really crushed it for us on the step mill. So this is your chance to really recover. Now that you're tired, and especially because you were pushing that foot into the step to push up, do make sure right now that your hips, knees, and feet are in a line. Also make sure that you didn't fold at that hip and you're standing up nice and tall. If you're using your arms, make sure here that we're not doing a lot of rotating. So the hip shouldn't rotate side to side, and our thoracic spine shouldn't be moving side to side. So we're really still here in the sagittal plane on this elliptical. So if everybody was looking at us from the front, we wouldn't see a lot of the knees rolling in or out. We wouldn't see our chest turning at all. We're trying to keep that core tight here while we recover. And I say that with the core because when you're going as hard as you can, it's just too much to think about that core. We just want that core to really activate. So here's your chance to think about how you're going to stay sturdy on the elliptical so that you can go crazy when you get on that step mill. So the people who are watching you on the step mill are like, wow, that person's really recovering right now. That's what I want them to think. Now, you're not to the point where you're going 60 strides a minute, but you are definitely at a lower level than you were when you were on the step mill. Stay focused right now on your strides per minute, on your core working. And if you feel like your legs are a little fried, you can take the resistance down on the elliptical. Nobody said you had to have a ton of resistance on there. Sometimes when I do the elliptical, I do it with very little resistance just because I want the blood flow to my legs. It's such a great way to recover. You don't have the impact. It feels good and steady. So this is your opportunity to really do that. Are your strides per minute still where they need to be? Recovery doesn't mean that you get to slow down. It just means you need less force. And we're still in line. Make sure you're up tall, catching your breath. Now that you've hit your 8 minutes on the elliptical, I know it's tempting to stay here longer, but that stepmill is calling your name. So hop off that elliptical and get back to your stepmill. Now that you're back on the stepmill, you know what level you had worked at. So let's start at your steady state level again. Now your goal is to hit the same levels. I know by now you're pooped, and that's going to be hard. And the other thing is, if you're wearing a heart rate monitor, you might get a little frightened because your heart might be a lot higher this time. But remember, that is just cardiac drift. That is, you've been working out for a while, you've been perspiring, and so you're losing a little bit of fluid, there's not as much blood volume, and your heart just pumps a little faster. That doesn't mean that the workload you're doing is any bigger. The workload you're doing is the same as last time, only if the levels that you use are the same. So that's going to be our goal. You know what level you were at last time. Now, I don't want you to get to the point where you feel pain, but I do want you to really challenge yourself. So be a little uncomfortable here, and maybe you can find a new level. We're going to start this in about 25 seconds. So from here, you remember your work intervals. We've got 6. I know those legs are a little bit tired, but this is going to get done. So in 10 seconds, we're going to go back to your work interval, and that work interval is going to get you out of breath. So in 3, 2, 1, work interval number 1. Let's do this. It's time to pick that leg up. Now let your breathing catch up. At first, the first 5 seconds are never that bad, right? It's those last 10 seconds that really kind of wear. But right now, you've got 15 seconds to go. This first interval is a piece of cake. You're all warmed up, 10 seconds. Keep bringing those legs up. Last 5 seconds of interval 1, 2, 1, right back down to your recovery place. Right now, just 30 seconds. You can ask yourself, maybe I should bring it up another level. If you think you can, try. There is nothing wrong with going back down if you need to. So maybe you go 1 extra level, and then at 10 seconds you think, that was too much. Just bring it back where you were, not to your recovery place, but bring it back. In 3, 2, 1, it's work time. Let's go. Time to get back to it. Take those legs up, right? You want to be feeling like you're moving faster. It actually is like you're moving up these stairs with a mission. Not reading a magazine, not reading the newspaper, not watching TV. You are on a mission to get up these stairs. You've got 10 more seconds. Keep pushing right now. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, recover. 2 down, 4 to go. Good chance to grab some water on the recovery. The second time around, maybe you're thinking, there's no way I can let go of the rails, and that's fine. If you can't use your arms at all and you used them last time, that's okay. Try and get the level the same. That's going to be our goal here. Remember, we're not hanging on to the step mill. We're just using it for balance. It's time. 2, 1, go. Back up. I'm going to ask you now, because you've got 4 to go. Try and leave it here. See if you can at some point just go 1 more level in this. You've got 20 seconds. Find a place in this 30 seconds where you can add 1 level. A few more floors in this 30 seconds. Halfway there. If you haven't tried it, turn it up right now. 10 seconds. Keep going, keep going, keep going. That's it. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Scale it back. Whew. Halfway now. So you can do anything for 3 30-second efforts, no problem. So catch your breath. If you got to a new level, I want you to try starting at that new level and just see how long you can make it. I bet you can make it all 30 seconds. Remember, it's just about bringing that foot up. So we're hitting that step mill. Levels up in 2, 1, go. Biggest level you've seen today. Biggest level right now. Just keep driving up those stairs. It's going to feel more like you're climbing the stairs with a mission than a steady state. Again, you are the person working the hardest on the step mills right now. So keep going here. You've got 10 seconds. That's it. Keep driving, breathing. You are upright. Legs move, 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 and then scale back. Whew. 2 more. So this one, you knew I was going to ask you to go 1 more level, didn't you? So every time I know you were bringing it up 1 to 5 levels in the first set, now maybe you're bringing it up 7 levels every time. I don't know, but I do know that I want you to start this one at the highest level you've been at, and I'm going to ask you if you can bring it up 1 more midway. So 2, 1, biggest level you've seen today. Feet should be moving faster. You are moving up those stairs like you are on a mission. You've got 20 seconds to go. Now's the time. Do you think you can add 1 more level? Just try 1 more level because it's only 15 seconds. 15 seconds at this level. Get those legs up, knees up and hit it, knees up and hit it, knees up and hit it. Drive those knees up. That step mill is going to let you push that leg down. So 3 seconds, 2, 1. That's it. Recover. So this last one, yep. It's the highest level, and challenge yourself, right? Now's the time to leave it here. I know you're tired. I know it doesn't even sound like something you would want to do, but I want you to prove it to yourself that it was in you the whole time. So biggest level you've seen today. I'm not going to ask you to turn it up. I want you to go challenge it. Maybe you go 1 more than you've seen today. 2, 1, push the intensity up. So right now, those feet are moving faster and go like you are running up the stairs. Running up the stairs. There's somebody upstairs that needs your help and you got to get to them. So right now, run up the stairs. Keep those legs moving. You want to get that knee up, right? The step mill helps you come down. You've got to get that knee up to get there. Get there because you've got 5 seconds. Now drive those knees up. Go, 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 and then recover. So remember what we want to do here is take the time to recover by bringing the level down, but also catching your breath, making sure you're back upright. And I'll give you about 30 seconds to recover. This can be well below your recovery level. Maybe now you're taking 2 steps a minute, and that's okay, right? I am not above taking 2 steps a minute where I just think like, I stepped and I stepped. That's okay, right? Because you got to get your heart rate down. If you need to just hop off that step mill and catch your breath, that's fine too. But bring it down and catch your breath. And then stand up tall, bring your arms up and celebrate because that was a hard workout and you did it. Congratulations on a great elliptical step brick. Hope to talk to you again soon.